Okay, so any kind of surgery, ankle surgery, if you're doing at-home lymphatic drainage, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start up here at the thigh, right at the crease of the groin, okay? Flat hands and just really gentle circles coming in towards the thigh, in towards the center and up towards the head. So the pressure is sort of a C shape like this, and the last portion of that circle is actually the release of pressure. So holding in that C shape, release. That just starts opening up the drain, the main lymphatic drain of the leg. And you can do just a couple of places, one hand or two hands, doesn't really matter. And then because you're doing this for yourself at home, your hands are going to be coming from this direction, right? So the next thing you're going to do is just some gentle stroking up the leg. And if you can see, as I'm stroking up, and then if I release, you can see the skin kind of shooting back down towards the leg. That's what we're looking for. So just enough pressure that we're bringing the skin up with us and then letting it go. And you can do that however many times you feel like. I would say start with a minimum of 10. Now we're going to do some specific knee work, because the superficial and deep veins kind of have connection points over here, and we want to make sure that this is draining properly. Otherwise we're not going to get those deep lymphatic vessels moving as well. So again, just the little C shape. So here we're going a regular C on the left side and a reverse C on the right side. And I'm just using the pads of my fingers. And if you are not feeling dexterous enough, you can do this one side at a time. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I like to do a couple of passes, 5 strokes in each spot. Just make sure that at the end of that stroke, you're giving it a little tiny pause. It doesn't have to be long, but just a little tiny pause before you come right into that stroke. Otherwise, we're not letting that lymphatic system pump. Okay, then you're gonna wanna make sure you're coming kind of top and bottom of that knee right here. Okay, so a little bit under and a little bit on top. Right around here is the main connection from superficial to deep. So again, if you're doing this on yourself, we're just going to we're not going to squeeze hard, but we're going to just put a little bit of pressure from bottom up and from top down. And then bring the skin up. So together, up, release. Together, up, release. Together, up, release. And you can test out a couple of different spots, kind of right in this, give or take, 2-inch zone. So we're kind of halfway down the kneecap is our top, the top end of that zone, and about 1/2 inch below the kneecap gives us that approximately 2-inch zone, and we can try any of those spots. Okay, as long as we're doing a couple of passes in each space. Now, same thing we're going to do down here as we did up here. So we're going to just very gently bring the skin up and release. Now, I don't know how well you can catch this on the video, but if you see me doing this here and releasing, there's almost no skin movement. And that means that there is swelling taking place here, which makes sense because surgery was only a couple of days ago. Okay, so just gently release. Now, if these incisions were going across her leg this way, I would be much more cautious of doing this technique, because the last thing we want is for that incision to open up at all. Now these incisions are going vertically, so it's easy and safe to do this. We're also not touching the incision. Notice how I'm staying a couple of inches even above the gauze. And just release, so dragging up and release, up, release, up, release. And you can see even after just a couple of strokes, there's more movement in this tissue already. Now you can do this as often as you would like. There is no harm in doing it more rather than less. As long as we are being gentle, our pressure is very, very light, and we are not agitating that incision site at all. If you ever have any other questions, feel free to give me a shout.